if reposted.
Do you believe in magic?
Oh, I love when you give us an intro. Today's quote comes from the one and only infamous Marilyn Manson. Music is the strongest form of magic. Here's what I hope happens when all my little chickens leave my family and go off and do whatever they do the rest of their lives. They'll probably think I'm crazy, but I hope the number one thing that they remember in my house is that music was always being played. I don't know why I'm into music so much. My family's not necessarily the most musical of families, but there is always music going on in my house.
You want them to remember that as like a fond memory? You want them to
Yeah.
continue to listen to music? What do you?
I don't know. I don't care what they do necessarily, but I want them to have a fond memory of in our house, there was always music playing.
All right. Well, maybe they join a cult in Guyana, have some Kool-Aid, but be like, "Oh, Dad was always playing music."
That's not nice. Come on, it was like a fun nice. No.
That is fun. I thought you sent me this quote, and I thought about music is magic, and I think there's a lot of levels to it. You can hear a song, and you can instantly be transported back to a memory or a feeling or a time. A lot of stuff like reminds me of college. But the first thing I thought of is music as a teaching tool. The ABCs, if you think about it, it's 26 letters, 24 because ET left, of just like random things, and you can remember it because it's a song. I know every capital of the the continent of South America because of a song that I learned in
Peru.
Spanish.
Peru.
Lima, Peru, La Paz, Bolivia, Asunción, Paraguay, Santiago, Chile. Anyway, so I just think it's this cool. I don't understand why it does it, but music is like this fun, not even necessarily fun, but it's a way to help memorize. Like, you probably don't learn stuff. Well, you don't do schoolwork anymore, but do your kids ever use stuff like that? Do they go to a fancy school? Do they use music to teach?
All the time. Coming home singing Spanish songs, mainly in their Spanish classes.
Oh.
I don't know what they're
speak
saying.
any
It could be
Spanish with
bad
them?
words. I'm listening like, are they saying Velga? Because if they're saying that, they're learning the wrong song.
Yeah. So, I mean, I think that's the magic behind it. But then there's also there's only so many notes in the world, and there's unique songs that keep become like getting invented. You can borrow from music. I don't know. Do you play any instruments, or do you just like listening to it?
I played the saxophone for like 13 years from like third grade to college-ish.
Wow.
Pull out my axe sometime.
You learn stuff about me all the time. I feel like that was a good one. It's kind of like you working at Disneyland for a while. Played the saxophone. Did you play the saxophone at Disneyland?
I did not. I was not good enough. Like nowhere near good enough to play.
Yeah. So, I mean, going to concerts. I don't know. I think we're just listing things that. What's your favorite song? What song, if you're in a bad mood, can get you going?
Someone was telling me, I was hearing this recently, like the music that you're most connected to, your favorite music, is something from your childhood for some particular reason. And when I was growing up, I was hanging out with this crew, like fourth, fifth grade, that was really into ska music. So I'm gravitate to music that has lots of horns in it. Maybe part of the reason why I picked up the saxophone as well.
I guess that makes sense. I've heard that you gravitate, or your most strong memories are from your childhood, but like one song that I like is the fight song. It's by Rachel Platten, I think is her name. And I use it the other day. I was running and I was like, I need to dig deep and finish in the next 3 minutes. And so I put fight song on. I'm like, yes. So it can also like it for me, I can use it to run with. Or you could be a sociopath like my brother and run 10 miles a day and listen to no music, which I don't understand how he does that. I think actual runners don't need music to listen to, but to get me through it, it's a distraction.
I do think you're a true runner if you're not having and listening to music. Just to add to this idea of music being magic is that I feel like it's one of the only things that when I'm in a bad mood, if I could put on music, it sort of changes the whole vibe of who I am. I can literally just get out of a funk by listening to music.
I wonder if that has anything to do with what your personality type is. Nicole and I have been talking a lot about our personality types. I'm an extrovert for me to clean the house effectively, if I put on music, I can just do it. And the music's kind of there in the background, maybe keeping me company. She does not need music she'll just clean in silence. Or if we drive somewhere, if I don't put music on, she is 100% happy sitting with no sound and it's eating me inside the entire time. So I wonder if it has anything to do with just like me needing to be stimulated by something while I'm doing a mundane task.
It's so funny because I really don't mind going to people's houses that don't have dishwasher and washing dishes. As long as there's music on, I'll literally wash dishes for hours. I'll always volunteer. I'll do the dishes.
Huh.
The thing about music, I tend to take it everywhere too. So like we're going to a picnic, I'll bring a portable player. And it's interesting to figure out just along the lines of your fiance. When I go to someone's house and we're sitting down to dinner, at my house, there would always be music. I'd make a playlist. I'd make sure that the appropriate sounds were going on. But it's always funny to go to someone's house and then see if they do or do not have music. Are these music people? Will there ever be music? I don't know. It's funny to see the personalities behind it.
Wow. So I'm surprised a little bit. You cultivate playlists, like you say, okay, this is going to go here, and you spend time like,
Absolutely.
wow. See, I always like having music on, but I just do like your daily mix on Spotify. I think sitting down to cultivate a playlist is tedious, and I don't
I
like
do
that.
actually really enjoy that. I like that feature. I think that's another thing about a person's personality. Do you only listen to music that you've curated, or do you ever have people curate you music? I loved Spotify's playlist for you. I also really like listening to Morning Goes Eclectic, which is out of Southern California. Those people spend like 12 hours putting this music playlist for 4 hours, and I love hearing new music that an expert has put together for me.
Yeah, it can be very powerful. Just like I don't really think DJs do too much, but I mean, when I actually look at it, they do. Like the DJs like Calvin Harris or whatever, the people that get paid a lot of money know how to use music to control a crowd. And you see these EDM festivals and they can get thousands of people like in sync, and they wait for the bass to drop and they get people with anticipation. So there is a lot I guess you can control people with music. So.
Definitely. And just along those lines, like I feel like we're a year out from going to live music. Totally could not imagine what it's going to be like to go and see a band again at a venue that I love. I'm so excited. Because I feel like it's kind of close now. We're getting closer to that happening. And I'm like, man, where's that first concert going to be? Where am I? Do I want to go to the Swedish American Music Hall? Do I want to go to a big arena? Like, what do I want my first experience to be?
Yeah, or I guess also if you think of iconic movies, like if I say Jurassic
Oh,
Park,
yeah.
everyone listening probably gets the same score in their head right now. You got Star Wars, all sorts of Gladiator, Hans Zimmer, John Williams.
Look at you dropping the Hans Zimmer on us today.
It can transform any movie. But anyway,
I close today's episode with another quote.
yeah,
I'm
bookend.
gonna bookend. This comes from Nietzsche, who says, "Without music, life would be a mistake."
Wow, that's interesting.
Hmm?
Well, if you feel like making a mistake, please reach out. You can find us at Reposted Podcast on Facebook, Twitter, or Instagram. I'm Andrew Keller for Russell Crowe saying thanks for stopping by.